Veterans Battalion.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Veterans Battalion. It is a fucking amazing day. We are here in the war room with Adam, Roland. Our boy Colt, unfortunately, is not here. Had a passing fellow Devil Dog, so prayers out to him. And again, guys, Veterans Battalion. It's a podcast meant to help veterans transition from active duty to civilian life and create greatness in their life. Go ahead, Adam, take it away.
All right, since Colt's not here, one battalion, one company. Was it one fight? Was it? I don't know. He
one platoon, one fight.
One platoon, whatever. Colt's not here.
One fire team.
You guys will have to get that next episode.
That's pretty good, though.
Because Colt's not here.
That was actually, I literally thought it was Colt for a minute.
Did
so
you?
Good stuff, man. No, shout out to our boy Colt, man. I know it's probably a tough situation, good friend of his. It's unfortunate every time. And I mean, fuck, dude, this year alone has been fucked up with so many losses. I know you guys had a friend that passed away in the Thousand Oaks shooting. Colt had one too. Then right after that is another friend of his, I believe, that worked there. I think somebody worked there.
Cody. His employees. One of Colt's employees.
One of my junior Marines back in weapons company was injured. Flew out. So as a shooter was coming towards the bar, he actually had to help people jump out of the building through the windows.
No shit. Was that the guy that had like the shirt off and it was like...
No, another Marine. There was actually a lot of Marines there. And there was like 4 police officers also.
Man.
So,
dude, that's crazy.
But
dude.
he has
just a fucked up year, man.
He had to get a part of a bullet taken out of his neck.
You know, and the crazy thing about that is that they mentioned that the guy seeked help, right? Or something like that. And there was like turn away or apparently they didn't feel that he needed the help.
Yeah, I actually know a guy who served with him, the guy that shot up everything. So when he came back from Afghanistan, he was just a different person.
Really? It's a funny thing you mentioned that. I was at the American Legion in Hollywood, and I ran into a Marine that served with him too. And he was bringing it up, and he said that while they were in active duty, that he was a bit off, that showed...
They said he was off a little bit.
Yeah, that he didn't want to be there, you know, and it's something that we see throughout the military, not as much, but it is visual. It is there. I know my last 4 years that I did in I&I, we had a kid show up and just, you could tell he was different from the bunch. I mean, this guy would sort of like hide, not participate as much, always fucking getting in trouble. And one day during drill, everybody left out to Pendleton and he stood there by the staircase. And I remember I walked up to him and I said, dude, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? And he says, the recruiters lied to me. He said, they said that I would have a different job and you guys are deploying and that's not what I wanted to do. And he goes, I don't think I want to come back. So, I mean, that's where the problem starts because how do you address it at that point? You know, how do you now tell this Marine that, fuck, you know, shit, you know, you're kind of shit out of luck here.
Well, I want to throw this back on Roland because he used to head a recruiting station.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he came from Palmdale.
Thousand Oaks. That guy, he was out of Thousand Oaks.
No, he's talking about someone else. But I know that this guy when I came out of Thousand Oaks. But I think when we all joined, we didn't actually get I didn't get a fucking real story on how it was going to be. I know the recruiters have a lot of pressure on them to hit numbers and quotas and stuff. Like, hey, I think just like as in business, if you're up front with the client from the very beginning, it makes the transaction completely different than it would be if you weren't setting those up.
Well, I do have to say though that my recruiter was honest. See, when I joined, I wanted to fucking be infantry, and I had already friends that were infantry, and they had told me already, dude, it's gonna fucking suck. You're not gonna sleep. So for me, it was like cool. But you know what? There's people that join, Marines that join
for the wrong reasons too, though.
For the wrong reasons, and there's some that they know that. Fuck, you know, I want to go through the pain. I want to go through the bullshit. I don't mind that, you know, and it is what it is. But there are a few that slip through those cracks, and like you said, it might be just misinformation or that recruiter not doing the job that they want to. But then once they get in there, they don't get it easy because I'll tell you right now, that kid would get hazed like you have no idea. And I don't think that's helping the purpose. That's making it worse.
Most definitely. And you know what? It goes back to basically everything. Just the Marine Corps in general, everywhere you look in life. There's a good majority of individuals that are great. Law enforcement, individuals that are great. But there's that 10% that fall through the cracks, just like recruiting duty. I'm sure there's recruiters that are dirtbags and they completely lie and don't tell, aren't upfront and honest with the kids. The majority of the recruiters that I serve with, I finished my career on recruiting duty, and I met some great recruiters that were completely honest. And if you're grounded in the right way, if you're really trying to make an impact in a young man or woman's life and really trying to make the Marine Corps a better Marine Corps, you're going to do great things. And
let me ask you this: is there? I mean, how long did you do recruiting?
4 years.
4 years. Throughout that process, was there ever individuals that you guys came across that deep inside you as a Marine now, you that have lived it and done it, like no shit, literally sat there and said, "Fuck, there's no way this guy will fucking make it," or but because you had to make a fucking number or a quota.
Let's see if Rico gives his smile, bullshit smile.
So here's the thing: you can tell a lot about the situation that a kid was recruited on by looking up his contract and finding out what day of the month he enlisted. If he enlisted at the end of the month,
that's just, we needed fucking people.
We need to make mission and go fishing, but not really.
Here we go.
So they're gonna hold us in a court of law.
It really is. There's tons of times when I've met kids. Actually, no shit. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day, and I saw an individual that I had recruited, and at the time I was like, man, this kid, he's just not going to fit good in the Marine Corps. He was a troubled child. I'm not going to name any names because now I'm just seeing him. He just finished his second enlistment, doing great things. He pinned on sergeant, and he's just making a great life of himself.
But see, I think that's a different example there, because when you say he was trouble, he was getting into a lot of trouble, and it's like school, whether it be law enforcement or whatever. Sometimes they need a kick in the ass, like joining the military, for them to get fixed. Because I served with a lot that, were like in and out of jail, gangsters. The judge told them that they had, I didn't even know that was possible, that the judge could tell you have to join the military or else, and it changed their lives. What I'm directing to is when you have that individual that shows up and different way of expressing themselves, not quite a troublemaker, but you could just tell, like, dude, there's something off. And I think a lot of the times it could be the ones that have gone through traumatic experiences growing up. A rape or abuse physically, whatever it is. I think that plays a big part.
Here's the thing: a lot of people need a push and a kick in the ass sometimes. When they go in there, they may be quiet, maybe they have a crappy background, but a lot of people do need a kick in the ass to get them pointed in a good direction. I think the recruiters, especially the Marine Corps, they have the best intentions of that. But it's after you push them and after you get them to the Marine Corps and you start seeing that they're still a little.
And you know what? There's an extensive process that is done to weed those kids out. But still, there's you just never know. There can be kids that might be a little fucked up in the head, but they just really want to be Marines. And
they go for it. They want to challenge themselves. They want to change, but it could be one incident, one situation, a circumstance, whether it be during boot camp, SOI, MCT, or maybe in deployment, to shift it back.
That triggers it.
And a lot of the times it has to do, and I've been reading Robert Greene's book, what is it, The Laws of Human Emotions, or I just got it. But it talks about how a lot of the times we're triggered. We might overcome something, but it could be a situation or something that just popped out that triggers it back. And it's how you respond to that situation that dictates the outcome. For a lot of the times, for example, if it's in boot camp or in SOI and you get yelled at, or, they physically in some way touched you, not in a sexual way, but like aggressive way, and you had maybe traumatic background of your parents hitting you or abuse in that way, that might trigger something where it just shot you off. And everything that you have accomplished, whether it was getting that Eagle Glove and Anchor and boot camp, and you're proud and you're thinking, fuck yeah, I'm doing great, just got crushed down. Now, does that mean that this person is a complete shitbag and should have fucking been in the Marine Corps? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it might have just been a situation that caused them to flip differently. And it's how the NCOs or whoever's in charge of you now takes care of that Marine going forward. Because going at him again and hazing him and using him as an example might not be the correct.
Just like Ed Milet says, there's six personality types to every person. So, each person reacts to things differently. Not every person's the same.
Each person means things differently.
I can yell at this motherfucker all day long, and he'll fucking have a smile on his face, right? Versus I say, "Yo, JP," and he's like, "What, motherfucker?" You're different than Rico over here.
No, definitely.
But I'm saying is like people handle just like when you're back in the Marine Corps,
and that goes
fucking yelling at one guy. It's different when you yell at a different guy.
Most definitely, it goes back to just the leadership techniques and principles that Jocko preaches about having certain skills and be able to evaluate what ways make certain individuals tick. That's what makes a great leader, is being able to analyze that, figure out what individuals need micromanagement, what individuals don't, and need to just be able to pick up the ball and run with it.
Yeah. Do you think it's also the way that leader at the time, at that current position, was raised and his experiences and what he has gone through, that he's also going to operate or dictate that situation differently? Because when I went in, it was the whole 90s Gulf War, like badass active duty fucking Marines, where it's like, no, you just fucking suck it up, you shut up, you go and you make it happen. And if you don't like that, well, fuck, this is the way it gets fixed. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It might have worked at that time at somewhere or another, but the more you understand leadership, you can't beat somebody to fucking lead or follow you. Yeah. You can't beat the shit out of somebody so they could, understand a situation or go like that. And I think it goes both ways in the military and also in civilian life, because in civilian life, even as parents, we have a leadership role, and it's how are you going to dictate that to your kids? Sure, we could put discipline. I think we all have done that, but how much more discipline can you apply to a kid that's gonna make him change his mindset?
Well, you can use effective methods versus just the straight up one shot, like the same thing every time, just yelling. Or you can do effective principles to actually get better results.
Yeah. And like you said, it's the life experiences. Like you said, that's exactly what molds and makes someone. People are made by their experiences in life. And leadership, for one, you don't learn in a book. You can't learn leadership in a book.
No, hell no.
You learn through the trenches. And that's why Marine Corps, that's why it's so effective. When you become a Marine, you're learning leadership methods second to none.
From a private on.
Yeah, and it's
every role has a leadership.
It's something
role
that'll forever change someone, especially if they go in with the right mindset. And man, it can change someone's life.
And you're gonna run into some fucking shitbags too that you think that have leadership position, and it's more just fucking I got this and look at we had Garth here, and if you listen to that episode, wow, it's powerful, and you could tell the big difference of somebody who has studied leadership and has studied it on the trenches with Marines and got feedback and takes criticism and knows how to apply it, but also knows how to be stern, effective, disciplined, and eye on the mission. And I think that's a great example of it. You can still relate that. And that's why he's so successful in running his business on leadership on the civilian side as well, because there's a lot of those principles and models that you could apply to your life. Going back to parenting, like Adam said, effective way of communicating could go a longer way than just beating the shit out of a kid. Yeah. Now, growing up, my dad was way different. My dad was like,
was your dad from the United States or
no, Central American? So the way my dad communicated, and it took me a while to understand this, and I opened up at a seminar that not too long ago, because I had to speak to kids that got beat up, and I didn't know how to talk about it because I was like, fuck, I hated my dad because of that. I thought that my dad didn't love me. My dad just wanted to fucking...
But that's the way that he was probably taught.
Well, he grew up without a mom and dad. At 6 years old, they kicked him out of the house. So he literally lived house to house. And then by 8 or 9, he was working and living house to house. So there was never love shown to him. His way of love was suck it up, fucking... Regardless, you can still live on, which it's true. You can. I think that our emotion plays a big part on the actions that we take on our life. And this is an example that even though he had a missing piece to him, he was still able to live his life, work, and come here to the States, provide, us with everything that we had. But what he felt on doing was when he communicated to us, it was more of like beating the shit out of you. So if you spoke back to him, you're getting fucked. If you walked across the room where there is a grown conversation, whatever was close to him is gonna get thrown at you.
So this is a great example of the transition from Marine Corps in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and now even Army, Air Force, all branches. In the 70s, you fucked up, you get your ass whooped, right?
Correct.
80s, they started not whooping your ass as much. 90s, and they started putting the policy on no hitting whatsoever, right? And then by the time I got in 99, the drill instructor would run up to me and accidentally touch me or whatever, and he would move from drill instructor mode to, oh shit, I want to make sure I didn't touch this kid, because they started getting afraid.
And then you got the sergeants that, the drill instructors that get court-martialed for stomping on a kid's hygiene bag, and it's nuts.
They used to just grab our shit and fucking destroy it.
So let me ask you this though. So isn't that the reason why we joined the Marine Corps though? Because it was tough. You know that you were gonna fucking get manhandled if you needed to. You knew that it was the best of the best, that they would push you to the fucking limit and break you. Wouldn't you say that that's part of that process? Because when I went in 2001, and I mean, shit. I mean, I still got taken care of one way or another. But I would tell you right now that I really think at one way, shape, or form, it helped.
And every individual is different, yeah.
But let me tell you something.
Some individuals, they just join the Marine Corps because they want to put on those dress blues.
Oh shit!
And that's probably
that's that one motherfucker that's in the mall wearing his fucking blues, swinging his cover around with his finger.
That was Adam told me. He's all like, man, the recruiter man told me all I need to do is throw on those dress blues and Actually, I can't say that.
No. Do you really want to know what the recruiter told me though?
What's that?
He goes, all right, so two things.
Was he out of Thousand Oaks?
Actually, he was out of Simi.
Oh shit. Close by.
This is Simi in the Thousand Oaks office, 99. He's like, all right, you want to be a grunt? You want to be an 03? He goes, all right, this is what happens. From about 07 to about 1600, 4 p.m. for you, you're going to go and you're going to be in the field, right? Then when you get out, you go work out, you go get some chow. Then by the time about 6 p.m. or so, 1800, there's women lined up at Camp Pendleton, all outside the gates waiting for you.
Oh shit!
I'm dead serious.
Which game was this?
And when I remember being in Pendleton, I'm like, I don't see no women down here. All I see is some fucking 300-pound fucking women outside the gates.
Yeah, if you ever make your way over to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, they all work at Toby's.
Duddy South over there.
Yeah, they just renovated it and made the poles bigger to make the women look smaller. So it's all good. It's good now. Hey, but that recruiter that recruiter,
I think he was like recruiter of the year,
sergeant major now.
Dude, no wonder, man. Yeah. Was he at the ball we went to?
But you know what's funny though? So we were at the recruiting station recently. And one of the recruiters she received a letter from one of the kids, and he was in boot camp. And I remember when I wrote my recruiter, I was just like, I'm motivated. It's tough. I'm doing good. This guy was like, this is so easy. I'm like, I never once heard one person say this is easy.
How long has he been in boot camp now?
I don't know.
I think it's second phase, like right in the middle.
But I don't know, man. I don't know. When I was there, I was just fucking scared shitless the whole time.
It's all different, and I think it.
But then again, people handle things different,
and then that's how leadership needs to evolve. Like how your dad, raised you. Things are different now, and I think that's what makes a great leader is to take the individuals, the situations, and be able to adapt the leadership style.
Will you take those experiences? Like I remember in the Marine Corps when I had my leadership position as a sergeant. I did take a different approach. I mean, I was never that one person that, just, what's up? Let's be buddies. No, you have to hold that sense of authority. Mm-hmm. But sometimes digging deep inside the Marine and finding out exactly what the issue is.
But that's not until you get into the fleet. Because when you're in boot camp, everyone gets the same shit. Boot camp is different.
Boot camp is you have to break everybody because everybody comes with bad habits.
Right. But then everyone is basically led all the same way. Correct. And then once you get on the fleet, and then you can have, customized, I guess, leadership from that point.
But see, this is the thing too. In boot camp, towards the end, the last phase, you could already see the shitbags. That's something that, I mean, I graduated guy, and I can tell you right now that off the bat, I had 2 guys in my platoon that I was just like, dude, how the fuck are these guys going to be Marines?
Dude, I stopped one of them from wanting to jump, go to the airport. He was actually had his bags ready. He was leaving.
Dude, one of these guys that we picked up, what is it when you keep on getting thrown back?
Was it not PCP?
No.
That was the fat bodies.
He was a medical. It was the 4th time he was going through fucking boot camp in a year.
4th time?
4th time.
That'll make you messed up in the head.
Dude,
as it was.
The guy was fucked up. I remember I got up one time, I had Firewatch, and he was trying to cut himself with the fucking razor, the Gillette for shaving.
Yeah.
He was trying to fucking like dig that shit in his throat. And I looked at it, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? I grabbed him and he was crying, and he's just like, I don't want to be here no more. I want to go home. I'm like, dude, we're graduating like in the next fucking 3 weeks. Like, the fuck are you thinking? And the drill instructor got out, and fuck, big old drama. Fucking everybody showed up, and they still pushed him through. And I'm thinking like, dude, that guy's scarred, man.
But imagine that guy, let's say he's in fucking Iraq, and you don't know when you're going to be getting back. Like, you got to have the mental fortitude to be able to push through those situations.
That's where I think that you can.
And it goes with what you're saying.
Yeah, you can.
You were about to say, like, when you're in the fleet and you have your junior Marines, you were about to say that you really dig down deep to figure out what is motivating them.
Exactly. Right? You have to. See the big difference when I went through Iraq, I was blessed that I had a great leader. And I spoke to him here. Garola, got out as a first sergeant. Dude, the guy was one of those that when he had to be stern, he was stern. Mm-hmm. When he had to have a talk with you, he had to fucking talk with you. Without the need of fucking going crazy, he got his point across. But he was also a great example. He was that one person that if some reason fucking CEO said, you guys fucked up, everybody's up at this time, he was fucking there too. While other CEOs, other NCOs were like, we're skipping this one, fucking.
Leading from the front.
Yeah, always leading from the front. So you gain respect. Yeah. You gain a different type of respect, and you're going to have your troops that are going to want to fight with you regardless. And that's where I believe that the mental part of the Marines, the junior Marines, plays a big part, because if we have a junior Marine that just came back, graduated SOI, MCT, whatever it is, he joins the unit, and you could already detect that he's off in some way, shape, or form.
Then he shouldn't be there.
There's no way why we should consider pushing them, punishing them, fucking.
Because imagine having to go through the mental stresses of war, seeing shit, and then coming back, and then being a veteran.
This is an example of somebody that hasn't even gone there yet. This is somebody that off the bat, that there's something off, and yet we're still going to push them to deploy, and then you're in deployment next to somebody that's supposed to cover your 6, and clearly
shouldn't be there,
and 100% not confident that. And I think that that's the problem, because instead of helping the issue, we're making it worse.
Yeah.
And when he comes out, he's most likely going to exit. If it's his time up, most likely he'll be on his 4 years, and he's going to say, you know what, I'm done.
Then you're creating shitty civilians too.
That's exactly where I'm getting at, because now when he gets out, he's not going to go to the VA. Mental health has already started. It's going to be an issue. He learns to hate people. His way of conducting himself or his way of expressing himself might not fit in with other personnel outside. His bad habits are still there. He's going to put that out there, which is going to create friction with other peers as well.
I think what you're saying right now is probably the best thing that you said on the podcast today. Seriously. That's the best thing. Recognizing when you see someone like that and stopping the problem before it gets even bigger.
And it all comes down to leadership.
And the reason I'm bringing this all the way back, and again, this is just my opinion, I'm not a therapist or advice or anything, is because the trend that we have seen in a lot of these tragedies and bad circumstances of shootings and all that is people that exit out. And if they exit out at some point, whether it was even before they joined the military or during the military, that problem got worse. They just never identified it, or they never expressed it. And a lot of the times that they don't want to express it is because of fear. When I spoke to that gentleman, as I was talking earlier, that was in the staircase that joined and scared off his life, dude, the guy was fucking frightened. He ended up going UA like a week after, and we had to go pick him up in Palmdale, and his mom had hidden him in between cabinets. And the guy, when we found him and we're with the sheriffs, shaking, and I'm like, why are we picking this kid up? why don't we just process this fucking kid out? Like, this makes no fucking sense. And we still brought him back to the base, and I was handling Nakia's packages at the time. That's when you exit. And they were giving me an estimation of 1.5 to 2 years to exit this kid out.
What was he going to be doing?
Exactly. Well, he would have to deploy.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah, that's kind of like the punishment. Like, well, you left. No, this is your job. I don't want a Marine like that, first of all, next to me. Second of all, it's not going to help him. It's going to make shit worse.
Yeah.
Man. It's going to make shit worse.
And there's so many times that individuals, whether his fellow Marines, friends, family, leaders, have seen things that probably should be dealt with and handled, but so many times they just get deflected, and then the issue doesn't get dealt with, and then he gets thrown into situations like that when it all comes down to leadership. And going back to your example, when your father was raising you, leadership can be done in so many different ways, whether it be individuals that you're leading or, raising your children. There's two different types of individuals, and we've probably all had them. That manager, that individual that's in charge of us, that'll tell us to do something, and we're going to do it, but in spite of him, basically because of his position of authority, and we don't want to face repercussions, or basically his position of authority. And then there's that one leader that is going to tell us to do something, and we're going to do it. We're going to follow through because we don't want to let that individual down. And that's something that is done by really caring about the individuals.
Troop welfare, man.
Troop welfare, finding out, like you pointed out, finding out what really motivates individuals and really getting to know and care about them. So that way, when certain red flags get thrown up, we really care about them, and we can figure out how to deal with that and handle that.
And you know what? And the one thing that I noticed too, that in leadership positions, whether that's in the military or when you exit, is that leaders tend to blame the personnel that has exit out, whether it's an employee, whether it's a Marine. You're always going to hear him badmouth. Oh, he was a fucking shitbag, this and that, fucking da-da-da. Or we fired him because fucking he sucked, he didn't do his job and all that. And that's a mentality that we have to change, because we fail as leaders if we cannot evaluate ourselves, the way we conducted, the way that we put proper procedures to that individual, and that we actually execute what needed to be done for him to reach his potential. So what I'm getting at is, if you fired somebody, well, did I do a proper job hiring this person in the first place? Did I filter out correctly? Did I provide the proper training for him to succeed? Maybe he fired because the lack of challenge wasn't there. Did I get him as involved as I needed to for a project that he might have been interested in, create value to me at that point? These are all key things that even in the military, you could do yourself with your junior Marines and sit there and evaluate yourself, first of all, as the leader, and understand, am I being as effective to create a fucking badass Marine, or am I ego driven and I'm more concerned about my promotion, my status, my way of looking good for the higher ups, and really just having Marines here just to fucking push them and make them do whatever the fuck that I tell them to do.
Yeah, take the spotlight off of you and put the focus on the individuals that you lead. Definitely care about them, and you focus on them. It's going to bring you up as a leader as well. And this is something that needs to extend even after the military. As a friend, you can be a leader as a friend. You can really care about, your friends and the people that you're mostly around, and really be able to pick up certain things and be able to realize these red flags when they come up. And that's when you need to step up and use those leadership skills to figure out, hey, this dude needs some help.
Because friend or not, if you're not saying something, you're hurting them.
And the signs are always there, man. Yeah. I mean, we both own businesses.
And that's the thing is, the signs are always there. In the military, guys are talking about it too. We're all getting together like, hey, this motherfucker's fucked up. But instead of fixing the problem, we sit around and we'll just joke and we'll laugh about it. When realistically, look, we all know that guy shouldn't be a Marine, And we say Marines a lot because we're for Marines. But,
soldiers, Army,
it's everywhere. This is for all Air Force, Navy,
There's those people that just should not be there. Hands down.
What's the other thing I was talking to Roland earlier is that, during this time, we're obviously December now. We're about to tomorrow. So, you know, a lot of veterans tend to get depressed and sad, and you know, this all comes down to the same topic: depression. You know, obviously mental health, PTSD out there. And I had a conversation with a vet earlier this week. Great job, guy's doing great. Served 8 years, I believe. And every time this month comes around, he always, and you know, I'm very transparent, so I'm gonna fucking throw it out there like it is. He takes out his violin and just fucking starts playing it for the fucking pity party. And I sit there and I tell him, bro, you're telling yourself this story over and over and over again every fucking year to the point that you start believing it. And every time this month comes, you're fucking putting yourself in that situation so you could get that outcome. You want to feel that way. It's not that your experiences, sure, you have to understand that. We all been there. We've been a war. But your story has to change in order for you to change. What type of life do you want to live? Do you want to live a life where, you know, for example, I'll give you a good example here. Veterans Day, right? I would say 2 years ago, past 2 years ago, every Veterans Day around that time, I would fucking drink heavily. Starting the day before the Marine Corps birthday, so November 9th, the 10th, 11th, 12th, to probably the 13th, just getting fucking hammered. My excuse was my fucking buddies died, my fucking buddies passed away, fucking my Marines, this and that, just fucking straight shitty fucking pity party, right? And I would do that. And then one day I fucking sat there and I felt like shit. I fucking, after whole fucking drinking party, one of my fucking other guys that I used to associate myself with, they used to fucking follow me on my pity party. Got really fucked up, crashed his car, and fucking walked out and fucking broke into somebody's fucking car and fucking.
Wait. Are we laughing at what he's saying or the amount of F-bombs?
Yeah, I think I'm laughing.
I was actually, because you were doing, I was like, man, JP's doing really well today.
Yeah, you're using the F-bombs and then all of a sudden, as a noun, a verb, and an adjective.
And then he gets passionate about something and it's like, fucking.
Well, so, you know.
Carry on, you're doing good.
The point of it is that I sat home and I got there and I said, fuck, you know, my whole pity party, my whole way of looking at life, the story that I keep on telling myself that every time November comes, I have to feel this way. I have to act this way. It's costing me to fuck my life up.
So what did you do to change that?
One day I just snapped my finger and I said, I'm not going to tell that story no more. You know why? Because I'll give you an example. One of my buddies that passed away, Sergeant Dunlop, firefighter, fucking dude, love PTing, crazy dude when it came to exercise, and said, why don't I celebrate his life the way he was living his life? Why am I celebrating his life, drinking, fucking throwing my life away when that's not what he would be wanting to do? So this year I did Murph for the first time.
And that shit's no joke.
And I didn't even post it because it was fucking embarrassing. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, wow.
Normally you post everything, though. What's up with that?
That's how bad it was, bro. So I said, fuck that. Next year, that's my challenge. Next year, I'm going to change that. Next year, for Veterans Day, I want to beat that score and I want to be able to post it and create a movement off that. Next year, for all the other guys, I'm going to do something that they like, do a different experience, change that story that I keep on telling myself that I have to feel down and sad and fucking this and that. But instead, celebrate their life the way that they were living it, whether it be extreme fucking, PTing or going out and fucking shooting rounds or whatever it is. But that's what you have to start doing as a veteran to create the life you want to live. Everything that we tell ourselves, I put a gun in my head. I could sit here every fucking time we speak and think, oh, well, the day that this month comes, I fucking get like this and like that because it's the day that I... Fuck that. You know what?
Dude, mindset is everything.
It's mindset, man.
It is.
It's very powerful, but it can be very scary as well. But getting that I'm fumbling over my words. Getting that right mindset is the first step to
and listen, we're all gonna hurt. We're all gonna have pain. That's not gonna change. What I'm saying is learn to change that, shift that feeling to something that's going to work towards you, because we all have that ability to do so. We just choose not to.
Right.
Why? Because we get comfortable. We got comfortable on that point that, when this time comes, I have to feel this way. And because I feel this way, this is what I'm going to do.
And then every single year around the specific times, we do things because that's what has always been done. But you have a choice to make. You can actually shift the way you can tell your mind what to do. Right. So just like at the fucking gym, how every December the place is empty as hell, right? But if you if you're disciplined, you tell your mind, hey, get your ass there. We're not going to be fat during December, right? You can shift yourself and tell yourself what to do. You don't have to listen.
It's just another day.
Yeah. It's just another day.
It's just another day, and it just comes down to, what are you gonna do different? Fine. Look, what's your goal? Well, I want to fucking achieve this. This is what I want to do. Great. Well, does it fucking stop because it's December? Does it stop because it's November? No. Does it stop because it's your birthday? Fuck no. If anything, that's when you should go more, because you have the advantage. I just put a post about closing 2 deals in December, because I had agents hitting me up like, oh my God, I see what you're doing. What are you doing different? This and that. And I said, nothing. I just doubled down on what I'm fucking doing. Why? Because there's less people in the marketplace right now trying to do what I'm doing, because they already checked out. So I'm fucking taking advantage of that shit. I'm going to fucking take what they're fucking not taking on.
Yeah, like Roland was at the gym the other day, ran into a couple of agents in the same profession that he's in, same area. And they're like, yeah, we're taking all December off. We're going to relax. Like, relax? This is when you fucking double down, right? If everyone else is doing it, right? Just go the other opposite direction. You'll be successful.
And then just going back to what you said, having that right mindset and that veteran that you were talking to, one of the things that's so important not to do that I think we need to highlight is keeping it bottled in. There's having the right mindset, but it's so important not to keep that bottled inside.
But everyone releases in a different way.
Most definitely.
You got to find whatever.
You got to find a way to do it, because
the best way to do
PTSD, it comes in all different types, shapes, or forms. It can cause depression, anxiety. It can cause unwanted thoughts. Those are thoughts that most people that have PTSD, they don't have control. Unwanted thoughts are thoughts they don't want to have. They just have. Like what you just said earlier, there's certain things that take us back to certain moments, and it causes those things. But it's so important not to keep it bottled inside.
Yeah.
Because sooner or later, it's going to blow up and it's going to erupt. So one of the things that, and I'm not a doctor or anything, but I know that I've had to deal with PTSD issues, and there's a procedure called prolonged exposure, where you actually find ways to basically face your PTSD and these thoughts, everything that triggers PTSD, and you just find ways to deal with it.
So what way do you deal with it?
So for me, I I'm still working through this shit myself. And so those of you that are listening, just to let you know, we're not, we're fellow veterans just like you, and we're all dealing with shit ourselves. We're, one of the things that we might seem like we're super successful and happy all the time, and we are. I'm very happy, with where I'm at in life. But hey, I still got issues that I fucking deal with too. And when I have, bad thoughts and, just bad experiences, I try to shift my mindset and just kind of like what you said about your buddy is, what when he was here and he was alive, he always freaking was the light in the room. He was always making everybody laugh. He was stuff like that, and trying to focus on the good thoughts. And then if I get really bad, I go work out. I immediately try to focus on positive energy, and
dude, that shit will snap you out, dude. You work out or jiu-jitsu or anything, man. I just think that
hitting the punching bag for me. So for me, the biggest thing was, and that's really, I got into Muay Thai, and anytime I would have aggression, and this is probably one of the things I need to do is get a punching bag again. I just, dude, take 30 minutes and just hit the shit out of that bag. And I'll tell you what, it feels a lot better. It does. And that the only way to get over something is through it. You can't wipe it over under the rug because it'll never go away. You got to get through it.
Correct. And it takes baby steps. That's what I'm saying. But if you keep on just...
Well, what do you do?
Well, for me, it was... my transition was, well, obviously I hit the low, and then after that I fucking had to make a choice.
What do you do now today?
Oh,
that makes you strong, because you're pretty mentally strong.
For me, what worked, and I'm not perfect, but trust me, I still have my demons that I got to deal with, uh, dude, here and there. But I think that having that mental control of telling myself the story that I want to live helps tremendously. And I know that might sound kind of stupid or fucking, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He just talks to himself. But affirmations, man, like creating a model that you want to follow and execute on it, setting goals that keep you busy, keep your mind on track, appreciating what you currently have. Shit, some of you guys got life. That already is fucking ultimate. That already is fucking amazing. Some of you got kids. That alone is a fucking great example of you to fucking move forward and shift that mindset. Mm-hmm. If you want to pursue a goal in business or in your career, whatever you're doing, focus on that. If you're not happy where you're at, then remove yourself from there, because sometimes that could be the big issue too. You're doing something that you're not passionate about or loving it, you're always going to fall back into that fucking hole and tell yourself that same story again, that my life fucking sucks. I am nowhere. I am not doing what I want to do. I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I'm fucking 30 years old and I hadn't achieved shit in life. I'm a fucking shitbag. I'm a bad dad. If you keep on telling yourself all this shit,
then that's what you're going to be.
That's what you're going to be. So you have to remove. And a lot of you are going to say, well, if I remove myself from that position, I won't have a job no more. If I remove myself from that position, I won't have a place to live. Well, let me tell you something, and I'm going to put this out there right now. If you are not happy where you are and you quit and you fucking get evicted, fucking call me. I got a place where you could go. But start your fucking life. Take action, and you fucking have to commit to it. That's it. It's quite simple. There's no fucking easy fucking pill that you're going to take, snap your fingers, and everything's going to work. It's going to hurt, but the big difference is that now you are starting to create greatness. And that's the important thing, that for you to take action now, would you rather suffer for 2, 3, 6 months or suffer the rest of your life in this fucking shit story that you're telling yourself?
Yeah. Okay, let me add to that. So back in the military, did you ever know those guys that were just great? When you saw them, they were great. The one thing about them is they never hung around with guys that weren't pretty badass themselves, right? You had like Stay Platoon, and then you had like a group of guys that were just fucking off the whole time. There's a big difference in who you hang out with. Okay. If you are around people that are not helping you, are bringing you up, are just negative, like when you call them, you're like, man, I'm just having a shitty day. Well, you should be having a shitty day because my day is pretty shitty too. And you know what? Let's just go fucking drink and fuck this life. This place. Yeah, you're like, you know what? Yeah, my wife's been driving me crazy. Mine too. Fuck these women. Let's go fucking get hammered and go fucking get some girls. All right, let's do this. If you're not around guys that are badass who can fucking snap you out of that, that's why I think we're all great together, is because, for one, I talk to you guys a lot, and if I'm ever fucking off or my mind gets down, I know you guys are there to
we
lift
talk
me
each
up.
Other off the
or when I call you out times. When you're not getting shit done.
Or whatever.
Dude, what you look, here's a great example, and it's a sad one, but it's the truth. All your fucking military buddies that you hanged out with that drank like crazy, fucking stayed up late, fucking party, and then got up all fucking hangover and drunk, the majority of them are most likely at the same position you are or worse. And compare that to the ones that were good to go, straight in, disciplined, got the shit done, and look where they're at now.
And then you know what? There's individuals that were squared away, dudes, completely squared away, that might be in a bad place in their life right now. So it's all different and all relevant. Crazy. But what it really comes down to is everyone needs to step up and use those leadership skills. If you have, veterans, family members, brothers, friends, whatever the case may be, and you see that something is off, that is your call to action, that you need to step up and you need to engage and really figure out what makes that individual happy, like what you said. And that's where we all need to step up and deal with these problems out there on the front lines.
The gym, I can't say enough about the gym in general. Like, you guys do jiu-jitsu too, and I think that's fucking awesome. But anything to get your endorphins and get that aggression out is crazy. I mean, like, in my position, I'm in charge of, people, and I'm also, dealing with my house, my home life, and dealing with other shit. And it just, there's times where I'm just like, fuck, I wish I would have just died overseas. And then my life I wouldn't have to deal with this shit. And then you're like, oh my gosh, that's like the biggest slap in the face to the guys that would love to be in my position.
They're not here.
But they're not here.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, well, I'm a fucking piece of shit now. Like, so, but when I go to the gym, I take some pre-workout, go to the gym, put on my freaking headphones, don't talk to anybody, kill myself there. And then when I get out, I'm just like this. It's like crazy. Nothing bothers me for a little bit. It's just wonderful.
Dude, so. You know, one of the things that I used to do back when I got home and going through my tough times of transition was that it was a routine for me to get home, sit down, watch TV, and fucking drink. Like, it just became a habit.
Every day.
You know, just watch TV, drink, watch TV, drink, watch. And, you know, slowly started getting more angry, more stressed out, more impatient, less understanding. And when I shifted that, I mean, now it's like, fuck, we hardly watch TV. We don't have cable at all. We have Apple TV, and I have some apps in there like HBO. I do watch Game of Thrones. Dude, I am perfect. I mean, I'm not perfect.
I am perfect.
I am fucking human.
Didn't I tell you he turns himself in the mirror and says, I am so great.
No, I mean, I'm not perfect. I am human. I do
JP,
enjoy.
I'm doing good.
I do enjoy certain things, but you know, I focus on things that are going to empower me and help me improve to become better, you know? So if, for example, if you go to my YouTube channel, both my living room or my private room, you're going to see nothing but like valuetainment, case study, business case studies. You're going to hear like all this other stuff that, you know, it's just only going to help you as an individual to grow, you know? But, you know, those are some of the changes that I did. I fucking started reading a lot too, which is fucking, I think, very powerful. I think we're getting an attack here, dude.
What the hell is that? Is that Cujo out there?
Dogs barking everywhere now.
Crazy. Adam went to go check out the scene.
Yeah, we're getting attacked. I think we should throw out our coordinates out there just in case.
Yeah. But no, I get that. I think it just comes down to really finding out what your passion is, and that can be a hard thing. Finding out what you're passionate about, finding out what you enjoy, and really putting your energy into that. And then,
well, that's where I disagree. I don't think finding your passion is hard. I think doing what you love is hard because your mindset has been set in a way where you have to, like Pat said, you know, you've been told to do certain things all your life, and you heard it from all these other people that have some sort of authority or some sort of influence on you. So you feel that that's what you have to do. So when you sit back and you think, well, you know, I always wanted to be an instructor, for example. You know, I started my own company where I could teach people self-defense and, you know, proper, weapon techniques. But now you start putting the list of all the circumstances, the objectives, the obstacles that go along that's going to prevent you to take action on it. Well, the key thing is just to fucking do it. And if you fail, well, you fucking fell. I mean, it is what it is. Many people fail. Fucking Steve Jobs fell how many times before he became successful, right? So it's not the matter that you have to find your passion. A lot of people know already what they want to do.
Well,
they love it.
Breaking over our conditioning. You know, we're conditioned in a certain way. And that's really what the challenging part is. And then, but some individuals, they don't know. It took me a while to figure out what the hell really makes me happy.
What did you do before you started your business?
Man, I was in the Marine Corps. But
so right after the Marines, you started doing
Marine Corps. Yep, right after the Marine Corps. But
what about you, Adam?
I'd untamed my dog right now.
I know. Are we okay? Are we getting attacked? Or
no, we're good. I fucked him up. No, I'm kidding.
Leadership, guys.
No, he's good. So what was the question?
What did you do before you started your business?
Man. So I spent about 10 years trying to become a cop and didn't get on. Interview after interview. My whole life was based around.
Why didn't they hire? How far did you get in the process?
Got to the backgrounds, and
so your background was fucked up. What was it? Fucking just did time in jail or what?
Do you really want to know?
Yeah. Well, fuck. We're talking.
All right.
See, because this is the real story. He's gonna say I got denied for 10 years, but I got to the background. Fuck. Well.
All right. If you have a few minutes. So I got a Jody story for you.
Okay.
All right. So, back in 2001, after 9/11 happened, we got ready, getting kind of worked up to go to Iraq, and we're in Pendleton for many, many weeks at a time in the field, and just getting ready, right? Well, I had a girlfriend who had gone through cancer at the time, and she unfortunately, had a lot of complications with it. She was bald, gained weight, and I was taking care of her at the same time of this right around 9/11 and stuff like that. So I bought her a car, and the car is is basically what fucked my life up. So I bought her the car, and
damn, was it like a Lexus?
No, it was just like a Nissan or whatever.
Okay.
Damn, she left quite the impact on you.
Yeah.
Well, no, the problem is she
like platinum edition, like the leather seats and the
yeah. So so we're in the field a lot, and I remember one time I gave her a call, and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go with my aunt, and we're gonna go to the lake and stuff like that." So I said, "All right, have fun." And then she goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna go with my aunt and her friends and her friends' friends." I'm like, "Oh, cool, bunch of girls, whatever, right?" Well, no, it was a fucking dude. It was Jody. Right?
Oh shit!
And she, for a while, she's like, I need you. You're always gone. You're gonna be leaving. I need you here. I feel lonely. I'm like, look, there's nothing I can do. I gotta do what we gotta do. So, long story short, she took the car and she took the dude and went to a different state. So I was still paying on that car. So I said, look, if you want the car, you obviously left me and went to another state with a guy. But if you want the car, you either got to pay for it. And she's like, well, I can't pay for it. So me and this other Marine, he took a couple of days of libo, and we flew to New Mexico, met her and the dude at the airport. And
so they picked you up?
No, I met them at the airport. They had the car there.
Oh, okay.
Shook his hand. I don't know why I shook his hand.
Did you buy him lunch?
No, but motherfucker, he took so basically the last memory I had of her was...
Dude, hold on. So you call her, she tells you, okay, fuck it, I can't pay. Well, she breaks up with you before she leaves to New Mexico, right? So you already know that happened. And you tell her, fuck that, give me my car back. So she says, come get it.
Yeah.
Meet me at the airport. I'll be there with my new boyfriend. You show up, shake his hands.
Take my keys. And she rides on the back of a Harley away.
is man,
dude.
But you guys gotta understand,
as vengeful as you are, you flew to New Mexico to meet this dude that just took your chick, and you shook his hand,
and then added him through MySpace.
So what happened?
And then he flew away in the sunset. They follow each
other on IG.
On the sunset, he like rode away. Yeah. And you could just see it like one of those pictures where the street is just getting smaller.
No, I think this will relate to some people too. Is as I was driving away, I was like, fucking, you're like screaming talking all this shit about her and stuff like that. And my dog tags were in the center of the car.
Oh.
And so I remember
sounds like a Nicholas Sparks.
So we were driving off. And I was so mad I wasn't paying attention to the road, and I hit one of the dividers, right? I'm like, fuck it, let's just get home, right? So I was like just so mad. It was like I don't know, it was like a 10-hour drive or something like that. But it was like late. I'm like, let's just go all night, right? And and think about it now, I should have stayed, partied, maybe like hit up one of her friends and got revenge, but it's okay. So we kept going, and what happened was that we were doing 50-50 fire watch with me and another Marine. And it was his turn to drive. He got into the driver's seat, and he fell asleep on the wheel. And we totaled the car, but he didn't have full coverage insurance.
Shit.
So I told the insurance company, like, look, it was my car. I was driving it. I want to make sure. And I messed up because I should have told them, look, I wasn't the one driving. So they're like, well, if you're gonna lie about that, then you're. I'm like, look, I know I lied about it, but he was another Marine. He was fucking taking time out of his schedule to help me out, and maybe at 21 years old, I wasn't thinking. But,
damn, hell yeah, sure, we're taking one for the team though. Shit,
damn,
that's a fucking loyal motherfucker right there.
Dude, I used to take care of her. Yeah. She would fucking puke. She would I remember doing like chemotherapy, spending out like. Taking care of her all night.
Are we talking about the friend or the chick? I was talking about the friend that you didn't let get in trouble for crashing the car.
Oh,
So
Lafferty.
Yeah, you stepped up. Oh, Lafferty. Oh, there you. Oh, no. Oh,
dropping
man.
bombs, man.
Lafferty,
Dropping names.
Lafferty, dude, that motherfucker.
If he's listening, hey, you freaking.
He fell asleep to everything though.
Yeah.
What platoon was he?
He was supply.
Okay, because
Lafferty better freaking meet us at our headquarters when this.
But he was actually with
the student.
It was so funny, but he actually volunteered to be with Golf Company overseas.
It's funny because I know a Lafferty.
Was he white?
Yeah, no, like Latino guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Golf Company.
Definitely not the right.
I was about to say, wait a minute, because I was in charge of him, and he didn't show up for a week one day, and I was like, and he had told me he was in an accident.
But let me tell you something, man. It's just so crazy because, like, you know, you spend your whole life like, oh, I can't believe I didn't get on. Like, I would have been so amazing. I would have been so great. But there's, you know, whether you're religious or not, but there's always a plan.
Yeah.
For everything, and if it's just other things came that I feel are good.
It wasn't meant to be, and see that just kind of points out what I was saying is he didn't really know his passion
because I know shitheads.
He was trying to just become a cop, but now wouldn't you say that you've really found something that you're passionate about, right?
Absolutely.
See, the only thing I'll disagree on that is the fact that you said there's a plan. I don't believe there's a plan. I believe that it wasn't meant to be. Yeah. And that's a decision that if you really would have seen and evaluated that situation beforehand, you would have maybe known that it wasn't going to work out. And quite frankly, 50-50, if you're in the military, if you're a cop or anything like that, it's a 50-50 chance that relationship might not work. Why? You're not there. You're overseas. You're leaving somebody who's not mature enough yet, does not have the mental strength that you have to support and understand what you're doing. It's a fucking kid. It's a kid. Yeah. And at the end of the day, fucking shit starts itching and she's going to want somebody to scratch it. And guess what? Fucking somebody's going to be there, whether it be in a bar or in a fucking Harley, you know, it's going to fucking definitely scratch. So what I'm saying, man, is like, you can't say it's planned.
He's just talking about God's plan.
What I'm talking about is, for some reason,
a larger plan.
I gave it literally my all. I dedicated my whole life to try to be a cop, and it didn't happen. And I didn't do certain things. I didn't experience certain things because I wanted to be that guy that was just perfect so I can get on.
So let's go back to your situation real quick. So you're saying, look, it's God's plan that I didn't become a cop. Well, this is what I'll tell you where you're wrong. Because
no, it wasn't. It was God's plan for him not to become a cop, which is why he's not a cop.
No, that's what I'm saying. But this is the real evaluation you do, because it wasn't God's plan for you to decide to drive while you were in not a great emotional state. You were mad. You were angry. You had the opportunity to pull over and stop, but you decided to say, no, we're going to go through it because I'm pissed. I want to get to California or LA, wherever you're going fast. You made that decision that the outcome ended up being you guys wrecking a car with somebody that was not properly insured, right, that now tainted your record.
See, here's the thing. We don't know. We don't know that. We don't know what God puts in our place, or he knows. And
so let me ask you this: if you had that same position right now, you have two options. One, either I could stop because you know it's the right thing to do, or you're going to say I'm going to keep on going, and you know that there's a possibility something could happen. That's not God giving you.
Hey,
that's just reality of you saying.
But, let me tell you something. I also know a few Marines that did a lot worse shit than I have ever done, and they are proudly wearing uniforms right now.
That's called luck. That means that whoever audited that file or whoever that background person might have just skipped that one part. So, I mean, I think it's just the universe giving you a different option.
Yeah, I think the Church of Scientology has gotten to him. He's talking about the universe, and he's talking like an atheist right now.
I believe in science.
Yeah. No, it's crazy though. But like, I remember doing the process of like interviews and oral boards, and look, I'm pretty squared away. I know my shit, but when I get there, there's something that I would just fumble. Like I turn into fucking Urkel, So it was like something was like grabbing me and telling me
it's the energy that you were putting out because you really 100% did not want to do that, bro. That's what it is.
I really wanted to do it.
I think that the reason why you were doing that,
said it's the energy in the universe and these
100%, bro.
Who do you think created the universe? God.
It was aliens, bro. It was. Have you seen Prometheus?
Oh man. All right. Well, we're gonna get.
I need to buy you Prometheus.
We're gonna get on a whole nother podcast episode on the universe and all this scientific.
Bro, okay, it's like this. When people say, let me give you an example. Okay, let me give you an example here.
Your father's Darth Vader too, right?
Let me give you an example. It's like when people say, "Fuck, I'm broke. Oh, fuck, God help me. I want money right now. I want money," and you go out there and then out of nowhere, fucking, you get a check. And you felt to realize that, no, what you did, you created fire up your ass that made you work harder, and you were able to create abundance, and that abundance got you a fucking check.
That's having the right mindset. All right.
So there you go.
It's not the universe. It's we can create that.
But you put it out there. You put it out there. So if you keep on telling it, it's like when I call people, and I hate this shit. When I call people and I'm like, so what's up, bro? How's it going? Oh, man, dude, you know how it is to be broke, man. Fucking, here. Fuck. I'm like, dude, like, I really, that's what you're calling out. That's what you're getting. It's not God's plan for you to be broke. You're choosing to fucking be broke. You all have options, man. It's like God. It's like, okay, when you're drinking and driving, right? You're drunk. You fucking drive. You fucking wreck your car, but you come out alive. Oh my God, God wanted to be there. Like, no, motherfucker, you got lucky. You made a choice that could have cost your life, and you luckily enough walked out of it. It's not God's choice, because God would have told you, fucking, hey, dumbass, don't get in that car. Don't fucking drive. No, but you're gonna still decide that good boys, bad boys. Good boys, bad boys. You decided to listen to the bad boys.
What happens when you face a challenge and you overcome it? What are you? You stronger or weaker?
No, you're stronger.
You're stronger, exactly.
But then you keep on doing it again. You keep on making that decision. So you're telling me that's God's plan for to keep on challenge you with the option to drink and drive until eventually it's like, hey, there you go.
No, it's the universe. It's the energy. The energy forced you to drink
that comes down to the influence.
Man, if you guys could only see, you get these guys just going at it right now.
That just comes down to the influence.
The forces the people that are influenced. Gravity force that bottle of Jack Daniels to go down your mouth, and you know what? We just couldn't deal with it. Yeah,
dude, that's the people that you are surrounded that you're surrounded with, that are influence you to conduct that. So if you're chugging down that Jack Daniel's bottle and then driving with it, that's you just gotten you have to just separate yourself from whoever is encouraging you to do that, because that definitely is not God's plan.
All right, we're getting a little off topic here, so
go ahead and share your thoughts there, everybody listening. You
can throw us some DMs and send us some emails on what your thoughts are. But really, ultimately, what we wanted this to be about is, stepping up, becoming leaders, and, really...
And believe in the universe.
Yeah. Really fixing a lot of these issues, taking responsibility and really stepping up and What's
I don't know. He's bringing his new religion.
He's got to go. Oh, he's got to go. He's got to go pray. All right. So, I'm getting signs right here. He's got to go. So, but yeah, on the real, that's what we really need to do is step up and look out for each other and become leaders, whether or not you're leading Marines, whether or not you're leading individuals that you that are your employees, or it could be your friends, your sons, your daughters, is really step up and become aware of what motivates these individuals. And if you see something that's wrong, you see something that's off, step up and let's fix it.
So you have an option to fix it. It's not God's plan, right?
Hey, God's the one that created everything. Hurrah.
I believe in Chesty Puller as my God.
That's a whole nother podcast, guys. But the mission of Veterans Battalion is to bring greatness to veterans. So that's really what it comes down to. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are, as long as we're here to fucking motivate you and inspire you.
I'm just
and
saying,
also bring great guests like Patrick Bet-David, the last guest we've had. Man, it's just things are going great, and I'm proud to be a part of this.
Yeah. No, man, like in the end of the day, it's, life is just a bunch of choices. You decide right or wrong. I mean, that's something that I think that all of us could agree on, that growing up, you do have, one or the other. It's, you know, it's
we all make mistakes.
Yeah, you all make mistakes. You learn from
no
it. The whole point of it is to learn from that and grow. And what you will learn is that in life, you will still continue to be challenged with those obstacles where you have to make those tough decisions, whether it's parenting, marriage, business, career, you know, like we spoke earlier, making that change and finding your passion. That's a very fucking tough decision you got to make, right? And some of them are going to hurt, some of them are not. But the whole point of it is just to fucking, you know, go out there and do it and fucking make shit fucking happen, man. And don't fuck yourself, most of all. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, then.
Veterans Battalion out.
We out.
All right, guys, out.
Thanks for listening and serving. Please take the time to leave a review on iTunes to get this podcast heard. Veterans Battalion.